Hello students, today we are going to revise chapter 1, Light in the Night. Light in the Night highlights the history of street light by the author Claire Hausberg. It is a symbolic story written for comparing the light in our life when the situation is not in our favor. Okay? So here in the chapter, we see how the street lamps originated in Europe and what are the ways of lamps were taken care, and how important the street lights are in London. These are the things we discuss in this particular chapter, Light in the Night. What are the things we discuss? How the street lamp originated in Europe and what are the ways the lamps were taken care of and how important these street lights are in London. Okay, so we know that London is the capital of England. Before the 1700, London was much smaller than it is now. There was no lamp post. During those days, people won't come out their houses during night. They used to come out only when there is moonlight or lamp. That was the scene the early London's had. Okay, so on cloudless moonlit nights, people would take advantages of the moonlight that helped them to see and socialize. Okay, so they needed to wait for these weather conditions, because of otherwise the street of London would be dark at night. So what the people used to do in the beginning days? They used to wait for the moonlight to come out of their houses to socialize with the other people. Okay? It was dangerous to move out at night. People could trip, fall, injure, or if they fell in the river, they would be drowned. Okay? So they were frightened to come out of their houses at night because there was no light and it was complete darkness in all around the city. There was also a danger of being attacked and robbed by criminals who would be out on the street at night. One could also lose their way in the dark. So also what happened at night? If there is no light, one could be robbed by the robbers. Okay? And next we are talking about the Link boys. We see in the chapter. The question is that who were the Link boys? You have learned, no? Who are the Link boys? The Link boys were young boys, men, who would for money hold a burning lamp or a torch ahead of the people so that they could see their way in the dark. So we see in the chapter about the Link boys also. Who are the Link boys? Link boys are the young boys and they would burn a torch or a lamp ahead of the people so that they could see their way in the dark. Okay, and moreover they pay the fee also for the Link boys. Okay, and the work of a lamp lighter was a demanding one. The lamp lighters, we see it in the chapter, it is written. What did the work of a lamp lighter involve? What is the work of the lamp lighter involves? What are the work of the lamp lighter involves? We see it in the chapter. The work of a lamp lighter was demanding one. Okay, they would have to light each lamp in their assigned area in the evening. The lamp lighters have a particular work. What is the work of the lamp lighter? They would lit the lamp in the particular area which they are assigned to work. Okay. Apart from that, they would also change oil, trim the wicks, and on the lamp and kept the lamp clean. These are the work the lamp lighters were doing. Okay. The royal crest on the lamp post was also looked after by the lamp lighters. So they had a plenty of responsibilities, isn't it? So they had to take care of the lamp, maintain maintain the work. Okay, lot of work they were doing. And there were roughly 1,500 gas lamps in London today. And we'll take today's, how many lamp light they have? 1,500. Okay. And how many people are employed? 5 people are employed to light these lamps today. Okay. And what were some of the unpleasant aspects of the early lamps? So what are the unpleasant aspects of the early lamp? What we write in this question? The early oil lamps were not very pleasant. We know that, no? It was oil lamp. Okay, the oil was smelly, dripped, and needed a lot of care. Changing the oil, wick, and so on. So the early oil lamp needed a lot of care taken. Okay, and despite of all that, there were still instances of the oil dripping on the people's hats and bonnets. So when the people moved under the oil lamps, it used to drip, the oil used to drip and the people's hand and bonnets. Okay, and the gas lamps that were introduced in the 1800s, okay, were easier to manage than the oil lamp. So first was introduced in London the oil lamps, and secondly, what lamp it was introduced? The gas lamps. Okay, secondly, they were introduced the gas lamp. And how it was the gas lamp? They were easier to manage than the oil lamp. It was much easier to manage than the oil lamps. But once in a while, they would blow off. So there also we need some people to take care of such lamps. Okay, and first was the oil lamp. They had much difficulty in taking care of that lamp, cleaning and wiping and maintaining the lamp, oil lamp. And the next one is the gas lamp. They also had much time, and it was much easier than the oil lamp. But whatever it is, they would blow off at any time. So they also need to take care of that gas lamp also. And in the modern street lamps are powered by electricity. And the last what was they introduced the electric lamp were introduced finally. That was the good one, and we use also today also in our day-to-day life. Which lamp we use? Electric lamp. It was much easier than the lamp light and the gas lamps. Okay, so much easier to use it. That was the last one, the third. It was introduced by the electric bulbs were introduced in London. Okay, and the next question is. What did the German tourist in London say was the effect of the street lamp? There was what is the answer of that? The German tourist in London was most impressed when he saw the street lamp. He mentioned that since the lamps were placed so close to each other, even on the most ordinary nights, the city seems to be celebrating with a festive illumination. So when the German tourist came to visit London, what was his opinion about the lamp? You know what was the opinion? He was so impressed by the street lamps. But what did he say then? He mentioned that since the lamps were placed so close to each other, the city seems to be celebrating with a festive illumination. Okay, so fantastic, so beautiful the city looked. It is that as if every day they had a celebration. That was the comment. Who gave the comment? A German tourist saying about London lamps. Okay, street lamps. Okay, students. And slowly, how did the introduction of gas lamp change the worker of the lamp lighter? How did the introduction of gas lamp change the work of a lamp lighter? How it was? Lamp lighters had become an important part of the society. Their work was tedious and people appreciated them for carrying it out with a great skill. So they had a lamp lighters had a lot of work, lot of duties to do, and however, the gas lamps that followed oil lamps were much easier to light. Okay, and no real skill was needed to take care of the lamp. To anyone could do it now. Thus, the work of the lamp lighter with the time become less important. So slowly you can see that the lamp lighters taken away from the screen. Okay, the people, the family members they themselves were doing the work. The parents and their children, they were lighting the lamp, and slowly the work of the lamp lighters were moving away from the London. Okay, so that is the conclusion of the light in the night. Okay, I hope you have understood the lesson, children, and learn the question answer, word meaning, and given exercises from the textbook, and prepare for the exam well. Thank you for listening.